They thought my story ended the day my son died. They thought everything I was, everything I had, ended with him. A mother without her son, a life without purpose, a heart without a reason to keep beating. But they didn't understand one thing. Sometimes, life doesn't break you to end you. It breaks you to reveal you. That day, the day I lost my son, was not just a loss. It was the kind of silence that screams inside you. The kind of pain that no one can see, but you feel it in every breath. I remember standing there, looking at his empty room, his clothes still folded, his shoes still by the door. Everything was exactly the same, except him. And that's the hardest part, isn't it? The world doesn't stop, people keep moving, days keep passing, but your heart, it stays stuck in that one moment. Tell me something. Have you ever lost someone and felt like a part of you died with them? Like no matter how hard you try, you can't go back to who you were. That's where I was. Completely broken, completely lost, and completely alone, even in a house full of people. At first, everyone was around me. Relatives, neighbors' voices filled the house. People saying things like, "Stay strong, time will heal. He's in a better place." But let me tell you the truth, those words don't heal you. They don't touch the pain, because grief is not something you fixed, it's something you survive. And slowly, one by one, everyone left. The house became quiet again, too quiet. But there was one person still there. My daughter-in-law, the one who was supposed to be family, the one who was supposed to understand. At first, she didn't say much. She stayed distant, silent, cold. I told myself, she's grieving too. She lost her husband. She's in pain. So I ignored the signs. The way she stopped sitting with me, the way she avoided eye contact, the way her voice changed from soft to sharp. Days passed, and something started to feel wrong. Not just grief, but something deeper, something uncomfortable. You know that feeling? When your heart tries to warn you, but your mind keeps making excuses? That's exactly what I was doing, making excuses for someone who had already changed. The house didn't feel like home anymore. It felt like a place where I didn't belong. Meals were no longer shared, conversations disappeared. Even simple greetings felt forced. And the respect I once had as a mother, as an elder, as someone who built that home, was gone. Replaced by something cold, something distant, something I didn't recognize. I started noticing little things, the way she would look at me, like I was a burden, like I was in the way. And every time I felt it, it hurt, but not as much as what was coming next. Because life has a way of testing you, not just with pain but with people. One evening, the air felt heavier than usual. The silence was different, uncomfortable, like something was about to happen. She walked into the room. Her steps were firm, her face emotionless. And in that moment, something inside me whispered, "This is it." She stood there, looked straight at me, and said words I will never forget. "You need to leave." No anger, no hesitation, no emotion, just cold final words. For a second, I thought I didn't hear her right. I waited, hoping she would say something else, explain, take it back. But she didn't. And that's when it hit me. This wasn't grief speaking, this wasn't pain. This was her truth. I felt something inside me break. Not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly, deep inside my chest. The kind of break that changes you forever. Tell me, have you ever been pushed away from a place you once called home? By someone you once trusted? Because that pain, it doesn't just hurt your heart, it questions your worth. I stood there, not knowing what to say, not knowing what to do. Because how do you respond when someone erases you from their life, like you were never important? I wanted to speak, I wanted to remind her of everything, the years, the sacrifices, the love. But the words, they didn't come out. Because sometimes, when pain is too deep, silence takes over. And in that silence, a realization began to form, slowly, painfully, clearly. I was no longer wanted there. Not as a mother, not as family, not even as a human being. Just unwanted. And that moment, that single moment, changed the direction of my entire life. But here's what you need to understand: that moment was not the end of my story. It was the beginning of something I never saw coming. And if you think this is just a story about pain, then stay with me. Because what happened next will show you something powerful, something life-changing. That I stood there, completely still. Not because I didn't understand what she said, but because my mind refused to accept it. You need to leave. Those words kept echoing again and again and again. Leave this house, this place where my son took his first steps, where he laughed, cried, dreamed, where every wall held a memory of him. And now I was being told to walk away from all of it. Tell me something: how do you leave a place that holds your entire life inside it? How do you walk away from memories that are part of your soul? I looked around the room, slowly, carefully, as if I was seeing it for the last time. The sofa where he used to sit, the table where we had dinners together, the corner where he once hugged me and said, "I'll always take care of you." That promise was now just a memory, and the reality was standing right in front of me, cold, unshaken, unmoved. She didn't repeat herself, she didn't need to, because her silence was louder than anything she could have said. In that moment, I realized something painful. This wasn't sudden. This wasn't emotional. This was planned. She had already decided, and I was just the last to know. Have you ever felt that? That moment when you realize someone has already removed you from their life, and you're just catching up to the truth? It's a different kind of pain, a deeper one, because it's not just loss, it's rejection. I took a deep breath, not to calm myself, but to stop myself from breaking down. Because I knew the moment I broke, I wouldn't be able to stop. So I stayed quiet. Not because I had nothing to say, but because I had too much. I turned away slowly, walked into my room, closed the door. And that's when it hit me. Fully, heavily, unavoidably. I was being thrown out of my own life. I sat on the bed. The same bed where I had prayed for my son. The same place where I had cried silently at night, hoping things would get better. But they didn't. They got worse. Tears started falling quietly without sound, because sometimes pain doesn't scream, it just flows. And in that moment, I asked myself a question, one that maybe you've asked too. Why is this happening to me? But here's the truth no one tells you. Life doesn't always give you answers. Sometimes, it just gives you situations and waits to see who you become. I wiped my tears slowly, painfully. And then, I did something that changed everything. I stood up. Not because I was strong, but because I had no other choice. I looked around my room, the pictures, the memories, the life I had built over years, and I realized something, that I couldn't take any of this with me. Not the walls, not the past, not even the version of myself who once felt safe here. So I started packing. One bag, then another. Each item I picked up felt like I was picking up a piece of my heart. Clothes, old photographs, small things that didn't matter to anyone else but meant everything to me. And with every item, a memory came back, strong, clear, painful. I wanted to stop, that I wanted to sit down and refuse to leave. But deep inside, I knew something. Staying where you're not wanted hurts more than leaving. Let that sink in. Sometimes, walking away is not weakness, it's self-respect. But at that moment, I didn't feel strong, that I didn't feel brave. I felt broken. Completely broken. Hours passed, and eventually, the bags were packed. Not a lifetime, just a few pieces, because that's all I could carry. I walked toward the door, slowly, each step heavier than the last. And just before I stepped out, I paused. Not because I wanted to stay, but because I knew this was the last time. The last time I would stand in that house. The last time I would feel those walls around me. The last time I would be who I used to be. I looked back one final time, and in that moment, something inside me whispered, "You're not losing everything. You're being forced to find yourself." But I didn't understand it then. All I felt was pain. I stepped outside, the door closed behind me. And just like that, it was over. No goodbye, and no apology, and no looking back. Just silence. And me standing alone, with nowhere to go. No plan, and no support, and no idea what comes next. Tell me, have you ever been in that position, where life strips everything away, and leaves you standing in uncertainty? Because that's where I was. And honestly, it was terrifying. The world felt bigger, colder, unfamiliar. And for the first time in my life, I felt truly alone. Night came quickly, faster than I expected. And nights are dangerous, because that's when your thoughts get louder. I found a small place to sit, held my bag tightly, as if it was the only thing I had left. And in that silence, the questions came back. What now? Where do I go? Is this how my life ends? And for a moment, a very small moment, I felt like giving up. But then, something unexpected happened. A thought, a quiet one, but powerful. What if this isn't the end? I didn't believe it fully, not yet. But it was enough. Enough to stop me from falling apart completely. Because sometimes, you don't need full strength to move forward. You just need a small reason not to quit. And that thought, that tiny spark, became the beginning of something bigger. But I didn't know it yet. Because what was coming next would challenge me, change me, and completely transform my life. That night changed something inside me. Not instantly, not dramatically, but quietly, deep within. I was sitting there, holding onto a bag that carried pieces of my past but none of my future. The air felt cold. The world felt unfamiliar. And for the first time in my life, I truly understood what it meant to have nothing. No home, no support, no one to turn to. Just me and my thoughts. And let me be honest with you, that moment, it can destroy a person completely. Because when everything is taken away, you are left with one question. Who am I without all of this? And that question is not easy to answer. At first, fear took over. What will I do? Where will I go? How will I survive? Because it's easy to feel strong when life is stable, but real strength, it shows up when everything falls apart. Hours passed, and slowly I realized something, sitting there, crying, thinking was not going to change anything. The pain was real, the situation was real, and now I had to be real with myself. No one is coming. Say it with me, no one is coming. That realization, it hurts, but it also does something powerful. It wakes you up. Because the moment you stop waiting for someone to save you, is the moment you start saving yourself. I took a deep breath, wiped my tears, and stood up again. Not because I felt ready, but because I refused to stay broken. Tell me something, have you ever reached that point? where you realize, if you don't fight for yourself, no one will. That's where I was, and that's where everything began to change. I started walking. No destination, no plan, just movement. Because sometimes you don't need clarity, you just need to move forward. Step by step, slowly, uncertainly, but forward. That night, I found a small place to stay. Nothing special. A simple room, bare walls. A small bed. But when I walked inside, something unexpected happened. I felt safe. Not because it was perfect, but because it was mine. For the first time in a long time, there was no tension, no judgment, and no cold eyes watching me. Just silence, peaceful silence. And that's when I realized something important. Peace is more valuable than comfort. You can have a big house but no peace. You can have people around you but still feel alone. And sometimes, losing everything is the only way to find what truly matters. That night, I didn't sleep much. But not because of fear. This time it was different. My mind was thinking, processing, rebuilding. And slowly, a new voice started to grow inside me. A stronger one. A clearer one. You survived. Today. You didn't give up. You're still here. And that voice, it gave me strength. Because sometimes you don't need motivation from the world, you need belief from yourself. Days started passing one by one. At first, everything felt difficult. Simple things, routine things, even waking up felt heavy. But I kept going. Not perfectly, not confidently, but consistently. And that's the key, consistency. Because small steps, done every day, create big changes over time. I stopped looking back. I stopped thinking about that house, that door, that moment. Because every time I looked back, it pulled me down. And I realized something powerful. You can't move forward if you keep living in the past. So I made a decision. A quiet one. But life-changing. I'm not going back. Not physically, not emotionally, not mentally. That chapter was closed. And with that decision, something inside me started to rebuild. I began taking care of myself, little things, simple things. Eating properly, walking outside, breathing fresh air. And slowly, very slowly, I started feeling like myself again. Not the old version, but a new one. Stronger, wiser, awake. But life wasn't done testing me yet. Because just when I thought things were settling, something unexpected happened. One morning, I received a call. An unknown number. A formal voice, serious tone. There will be a will reading. For a second I couldn't speak. My heart started racing. My hands felt cold. My son's will. I hadn't thought about it. I hadn't expected anything. Because when you lose someone, money, property, none of it matters. All you want is them back. But something about that call felt important. Not because of what I might get, but because of what I might learn. And deep inside, a feeling started to grow. A strange one. Like something big was about to happen. I didn't know what. I didn't know how. But I knew one thing. I had to go. Because sometimes, life calls you to moments that change everything. And this felt like one of those moments. But what I didn't know was that the next step I was about to take would not only reveal the truth but completely transform my life. The day finally came, the day of the will reading. I remember standing outside that building, my hands slightly shaking, my heart beating faster than usual. Not because I expected something, but because I felt something. You know that feeling when your instincts tell you, this moment matters. That's exactly what I was feeling. I took a deep breath and stepped inside. The air was different, heavy, silent, tense. It wasn't just a room. It felt like a place where truths were about to be revealed. And then I saw them. Faces I hadn't seen since that day, people who had disappeared from my life as soon as I became unimportant. And among them, she was there. My daughter-in-law. Sitting there, calm on the outside, but her eyes told a different story. There was something in them. Not anger, not coldness, but uncertainty, maybe even fear. And in that moment, I realized something. She wasn't as confident as she looked, because deep down she knew something too. I walked in slowly, every step measured, every breath controlled, and suddenly, all eyes were on me. The same people who once ignored me now couldn't stop looking. Funny how that works, right? When you have nothing, no one sees you, but the moment something changes, everyone notices. I didn't react, that I didn't greet anyone, that I didn't speak. Because I wasn't there for them, that I was there for closure. I took a seat, quietly, calmly. But inside a storm was building. Memories, pain, questions, all waiting for answers. The lawyer walked in, serious, professional, holding a file that suddenly felt very important. The room went silent, completely silent. You could hear breaths, heartbeats, even thoughts. And then he began to speak. Every word slow, clear, precise. This is the final will. My heart tightened. Every sentence that followed felt heavier than the last. He spoke about assets, properties, accounts, details that didn't matter to me. Because I wasn't there for money, that I wasn't there for wealth. I was there for truth. And then something changed. The tone, the words, the atmosphere. The lawyer paused for a moment, looked around the room, and then continued. As per his final wishes, I felt my heartbeat rise. Because something about that line felt different, important. And then the truth began to unfold. My son, he had seen everything. Not just the good moments, not just the happy memories, but the reality, the distance, the disrespect, the change in behavior. He had noticed it all. Even when I didn't say anything, even when I stayed silent, he knew. And that realization, it hit me deeply. Because sometimes the people we love understand more than we think. Even without words. The room felt heavier now. I could sense it. Others felt it too. Especially her. I didn't look at her directly, but I could feel it. Her posture shifted. Her confidence started fading. Because now the truth was no longer hidden. And then came the moment that changed everything. The lawyer spoke clearly, without hesitation. All assets, all properties, all holdings. He paused, just for a second, but that second felt like forever. And then he said it. Will be transferred. The room leaned in, everyone waiting, everyone expecting something else. But what came next, no one was ready for. To his mother. Silence. Complete silence. No whispers, no movement, no sound. Just shock. I felt it too. Not excitement, not happiness, but something deeper. Clarity. Because in that moment everything made sense. My son had seen my pain, that he had understood my silence. And in his final decision he made sure I would never be powerless again. The room slowly started reacting, whispers, confusion, disbelief. And then I looked up. Not at everyone, just at her. And for the first time, I saw it clearly. Regret, fear, shock. The same person who once told me to leave was now realizing what she had lost. But here's the truth, I didn't feel revenge. I didn't feel the urge to hurt her. Because life had already done something greater. It had shown me who I really was. And no amount of money, no property could match that. Because real power is not in what you own. It's in who you become. And at that moment, I wasn't the same person anymore. I wasn't broken, that I wasn't lost, that I wasn't weak. I was someone who had survived, someone who had grown, someone who had found strength in the darkest moment of life. But the story was not over yet, because what happened after that room was something even more powerful. The room was still, but everything had changed, not just for them but for me. I sat there quietly, listening to the whispers around me, feeling the weight of that moment. All assets to his mother. Those words kept echoing, but not because of what they meant financially, but because of what they meant emotionally. My son, even in his absence, had protected me. He had seen my silence, understood my pain, and made sure I would never be left powerless again. And in that moment, I didn't feel rich, that I didn't feel lucky. I felt seen. Tell me something. Have you ever gone through something so painful that all you wanted was for someone to understand you? Not fix it, not change it, just understand it. That's what this felt like. For the first time in a long time, I wasn't invisible anymore. The lawyer continued speaking, explaining details, procedures, formalities. But honestly, I wasn't listening anymore, because my mind had already moved somewhere else, to a place of realization, a place where I understood something deeply powerful. Life had taken everything from me so it could give me something greater. Not money, not property, but strength, clarity, self-worth. I slowly stood up. Not in a rush, not with excitement, but with calmness, control, a different kind of power. All eyes were on me again, waiting, watching, judging, expecting a reaction, especially her. I could feel it, her eyes, filled with questions, fear, regret. Maybe she was thinking, will she take revenge? Will she throw me out the way I did? And honestly, for a brief moment that thought crossed my mind. Because I'm human, because I felt that pain, because I remembered that day when I stood at the door with nowhere to go. But then, something inside me spoke. A stronger voice, a wiser one. Don't become what hurt you. That line changed everything. Because revenge feels powerful for a moment, but it keeps you tied to the pain. And I had already suffered enough. I wasn't going to carry that pain forward. I wasn't going to let it define my next chapter. So instead of reacting, I chose something different. I chose peace. I turned toward the door. Not looking for approval, not waiting for validation, just walking forward. And as I reached the exit, I paused. Not because I was unsure, but because I had one last thing to do. I turned back. The room went silent again, and I spoke. Not loudly, not angrily, but clearly. I didn't lose my home that day. I found myself. Those words, they weren't just for them, they were for me. Because that was the truth. That painful day, that moment of rejection, that night of loneliness, it didn't destroy me. It rebuilt me. Stronger, wiser, unbreakable. And in that moment, I realized something that I want you to understand too. Life will test you. People will hurt you. Situations will break you. But none of that defines you. What defines you is what you choose next. You can stay bitter, or you can become better. You can hold on to pain, or you can rise above it. The choice is always yours. I walked out of that room not as a victim, but as someone who had taken back control of her life. And that is real power. Not money, not property, but self-respect, self-worth, and inner strength. Days later, my life looked completely different. Not just on the outside, but on the inside. I wasn't the same person anymore. I didn't need validation, that I didn't need approval, that I didn't need anyone to tell me my worth. because I already knew it. And that's what I want for you. If you're listening to this right now and you feel lost, broken, rejected, listen carefully. This is not your ending. This is your transformation. You are stronger than you think. You are braver than you feel. And one day you will look back at this moment and realize it didn't break you. It built you. So don't give up. Not now, not here. Because your story is still being written. And the best part? It's yet to come.